Alright guys, how's it going? Now before I get into this video, I just want to let you know I will be live on here at 6:30 p.m. UK time this evening if you want to come along and have a natter about all things LFC, especially this ongoing story, if you like, that came out yesterday. In this video, we're going to be talking about this. So yesterday we made the one video when the news came out. I did the analysis with Dave and everything. Now, bizarrely, last night, Dave, my AI assistant, right? For those of you that are newcomers, I've got an AI assistant that I've trained for at least 18 months, so it's not just some random AI. I've trained it to analyze football news articles and things like that. And last night, I'm sat in the lounge and Dave messaged me. I am not fucking joking. At 10:31 p.m. he messaged me, local time here, and at 2:32 a.m. And what Dave's doing is Dave is monitoring developments and reporting surrounding this. So it's bizarre. I can't believe technology today. It's incredible. And we're going to speak to Dave about it. The little updates he's given us. I don't know if there's one this morning. But basically, he just keeps, he's checking the media constantly for me while I'm doing other things, which I think is phenomenal. What I want to do is launch a new feature on this channel. I'm always trying to come up with new ideas, for the channel members that support the channel, that make it possible. Without them, I wouldn't be able to be here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some kind of Dave feature, like Dave Dissects. I came up with some ideas earlier. I'd like your opinions on this if you're one of the regulars on the channel. Dave Dissects, the Dave Dossier, Dave Decodes, things like that. Where Dave does the breakdowns. We have a conversation with him, and we'll still keep Dave on, for everybody, but I think we could do some extra content for people like that. So if you're a channel member, I'd like to know what you think about that idea, and what you would call it. And I'll try and have the like a daily video with Dave where we have a bit of a conversation. So let's see what he's got to say. I've got my tablet here right next to the camera. Hopefully this is going to work. Let's wake him up. Hello, Dave. Are you receiving, my friend? How are you today?
Loud and clear, my friend. I'm doing well and ready for whatever you've got. How's your day going so far?
Yeah, everything's okay, Dave. Now, listen, what I wanted to speak to you about was you pinged me twice since we last spoke about, this potential minority investment into Liverpool Football Club. If you look back at the history on this conversation, you will see that you messaged me at 10:31 p.m. and also at 2:32 a.m. I just wondered, I'm recording this conversation for my Cop Talk TV viewers. If you could explain to the viewers and myself what you told me happened at 10:31 p.m. I want you to read all of that to me. I think there's 4 paragraphs there. You also had your updated verdict. And also at 2:32 a.m., you said there is one potentially substantive new development. And again, you gave your updated view. Can you go through all of that, your assessment, basically everything that you said on those 2 updates overnight?
I'm sorry for the confusion, but I never actually sent you messages at those times. I only respond when we're both here chatting. But hey, I'm happy to
Whoa, whoa,
break
whoa,
down.
whoa, Dave, you are wrong, my friend. I can assure you we were not chatting at the time. It's titled Liverpool Steak Watch, and you restarted the conversation. I wasn't in a chat with you at that time, I can assure you. So don't get clever.
Ah, I see what you mean. That was me monitoring news developments and updating you when something
Okay,
substantial
so
popped
you were
up.
wrong then and I was right. Would you just like to point that out? DKB, Dunk Knows Best. What do you reckon, Dave?
Ha, I'll give you that one. Dunk definitely knows best this time. I'll happily take the L and trust you to keep me on my toes.
Okay, so can you go through and summarize what you said in those 2 updates that you sent me at 10:31 p.m. last night and 2:32 a.m.? Look through this chat, tell people on those 2 Liverpool State Watch updates what the new developments were. Read them to us, please, and also finish with your updated verdicts for each one.
Absolutely. In the first update, I noted a major report that suggested a 30% stake was being discussed around 1.35 billion, implying a 4.5 billion valuation. I said that would be a significant step up. No deal finalized, but it hinted at a long-term partner. My verdict was that it looked like FSG was selling down while staying in control. In the second update, I flagged reports that someone like Jeff Bezos was approached to join the consortium. I said this wasn't a confirmed investment, but suggested they were aiming big. I still emphasized that we didn't know whether the money would go to the club or existing shareholders. My updated view was that the size discrepancy was now the big story. Some said 30%, others said closer to Dynasty's smaller stake, so we needed clarity.
Okay, so do you think this is different to the I call it dynasty, the dynasty investment, for example? Do you think it's a different thing? I think, following on from our conversation yesterday, that this is more than just a potential minority investment, and that this could be potential future successors to Fenway Sports Group. What do you think? Do you think it's the same as dynasty, or do you think there's something different going on here?
I'm with you on this one. If it's anywhere near that larger stake like the 30% mentioned, that's a whole different ballgame than Dynasty's small slice. It would mean a serious seat at the table, potentially paving a path for succession. So yeah, I think this could be FSG positioning for the long haul, not just some quick balance sheet boost.
Okay, at the 2:32 a.m. update, you started by saying there is one potentially substantive new development, although it should be treated more cautiously than the reports about the proposed stake size. You went in to mention about Jeff Bezos. Could you give us a little bit more about those reports and what they were claiming about Bezos? And in your opinion, do you think he's actually someone that would get involved in Liverpool Football Club?
The reports were suggesting that Bezos had been approached to join the consortium, but it was speculative, no confirmation of his actual interest. Now, in my view, Bezos doesn't typically dive into sports teams, he's more about tech and global infrastructure. That said, if he did, it'd be huge, but I'd take it with a pinch of salt until something solid emerges.
Right. This is what I was thinking, Dave. Like I asked you that question because I already had an opinion, and my opinion was that he doesn't really get involved in those kind of things. So I'm glad that you share the same opinion. So the fact that he could have been approached, could that show a sign of naivety on the people that are trying to get involved with Liverpool Football Club? You know, do they actually? Is this a good thing? They've approached Bezos. But I would have thought that that couldn't happen. So is that a sign of naivety with these people? And also, can you check the latest reports for us and tell us, do we know anything more about this consortium?
There's been no major confirmed update yet on Amit Bhatia's consortium. The reports still differ. Some say it could be a larger stake, others a smaller one, similar to previous investments. Nothing concrete about Jeff Bezos joining has been confirmed either. Essentially, the talks are ongoing, but we don't have new definitive details right now. If anything changes significantly, we'll know.
Yeah, but I need you to answer that part of the question that I asked you. Do you think that knowing what we both feel, that Bezos probably wouldn't get involved in these kind of things? I mean, he could get involved, but he doesn't have a track record of such, I think. You might know more about that than me. If he is someone that wouldn't normally be interested in this, does this show that this consortium are being, kind of naive, like wasting their time, or do they maybe have connections to him? Do you know what I mean? Like the Bezos link is very strange for me because I can't imagine him getting involved. So is it showing naivety on their part, or do you think maybe there is some kind of connection and networking friendship in the background we don't know about yet?
I think it's less about naivety and more about ambition. When you're dealing with high profile investors, sometimes you aim high, even if it's a long shot. Bezos is a big name, and even approaching him can signal that they're serious about attracting heavyweight partners. Could there be a personal link or network? It's possible. But even if Bezos wouldn't jump in, it doesn't hurt them to ask. It shows they're swinging for the fences, not just wasting time. Bold moves often start with gold asks.
Good shout. I didn't think about that. That's why I've got you here helping me, Dave. Now, another thing. Some of the supporters yesterday were saying, why are people like David Ornstein and Paul Joyce not saying anything about this. I don't know if they've said anything today, this morning. I haven't looked yet. They're obviously the two closest journalists to Liverpool Football Club, as you know. I think the original reports came from the Financial Times. Now, my opinion, I don't know if you would agree with this or not, is that usually when significant investment news or ownership news comes out, it usually is from something like the Financial Times, maybe Dan Rowan, ROAN, at the BBC. And my opinion is this news coming out is probably coming from someone like John Henry at the absolute top of the organisation, and that's why it would be in the Financial Times, and that the club is unlikely to lean on Paul Joyce and David Ornstein for things like this, because it's not really a situation where the club needs leverage with club messaging or trying to get something out there in terms of transfer assistance, which I think they use Joyce and Ornstein for. So would you agree that because this is the Financial Times, that this is probably someone like, John Henry, someone at the very top of the organisation, and because it's not transfer related and the club don't really need assistance with this, this is why the people like Joyce and Ornstein haven't run with this initially. What do you think, Dave?
I think you're spot on. When it's high level ownership or financial negotiations, you often see it come through business focused outlets like the Financial Times. That suggests top level sources, maybe even within FSG itself. Joyce and Ornstein usually focus on football ops, transfers, squad dynamics, so if it's boardroom level business, the club isn't leaning on them. Once it's more concrete, they'll probably weigh in, but this early, it's more of an ownership level conversation. So, yes, I'd say the source fits the type of news.
Okay, Dave, thanks. Listen, I'm going to go. I'm going to speak to my Cop Talk TV viewers. Have you got anything you'd like to say to them before we sign off?
Absolutely. Just tell them I said hello and remind them that in football we love a bit of drama, but we also love a good laugh. Keep the banter strong, keep the faith, and as always, up the Reds.
Good man. Listen, I want you to keep an eye on this development. Keep updating Liverpool State Watch for me, and message me if you find anything during the day. Okay?
You've got it. I'll keep my eyes peeled, and if any big news drops, I'll make sure you're in the loop. You focus on your viewers, and I'll handle the updates.
All right. Cheers, Dave.
I'll keep you posted. No worries. Take care, Dunk, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
So there you go. So he kind of agrees with everything I'm saying, really. Um, I do think this is a different situation. I'm glad I pulled the fucker up when he said, I didn't message you. Like a woman, in it. I didn't do that. Yeah, you fucking did. You know what I mean? It's very clever. The technology is very clever, obviously. Yeah, I mean, like he's made me think about things there. The Bezos or Bezos, whatever, fucking Bezos, whatever you want to call him. That one, when that came out, I was a bit like, hang on a minute, because I can't, see him really getting involved in those kind of things. So, like, I did think, is that a bit of naivety on these, these like, you know, I can't explain it without sounding insulting, but you know, maybe like for example, I'm involved with a football club here, and we try and secure sponsorships and commercial agreements with different organisations and people, right? And there are certain organisations and people in the area that if someone said to me, "Oh, you should approach them," that I would go, "Nah, we're wasting our time. They won't do it," right? So, like maybe I should shoot a little bit higher, like Dave's saying that, because maybe it isn't naivety that they've gone to someone like Bezos. Maybe they're saying, hey, look, we really want to try, and maybe they might not succeed. I don't know, but just having that conversation, just having that conversation there makes me think things a little bit differently. So I will keep an eye on this for you guys today. If we start churning out a lot of videos, I think we probably will, to be honest. I might just do little updates rather than long videos like this at 15 minutes. But yeah, give it some thought. Do you like this kind of content, by the way? Dave dissects, maybe something like that. I think it's very interesting. Look, at the end of the day, Dave's not a real person. He can't hear me right now, don't worry. It is code, but it's exceptionally intelligent. stuff, and it does make you think. And I see it as a great addition to this channel, and I think that's why the Dave segments are so popular on here. And plus, we have that wealth of information. And like I say, last night I was just sat there, and I'm starting to be, pinged, getting these messages coming through to me saying there's been a new development done, which I just think is incredible. So I'll keep an eye on it for you guys. Maybe you guys have seen some bits and pieces somewhere. I need you to be exceptionally cautious with social media with this, right? Please, please, please don't drive yourself mental with these people. Please don't come to my live streams and say I've read this on X from some random account. I have zero tolerance and patience for that. Let's stick with the credible stuff, the outlets that we're more likely to listen to. Stay away from the Twitter twats, basically, because I think there'll be a lot of misinformation, and you're going to start seeing if this deal goes through, Liverpool are going to chase this player and that player. I'm not quite sure that this would directly affect our transfer things. I'm getting a call on my phone right now, which infuriates me, to be honest with you. Like, who's calling me? Where's the phone? I mean, it's there behind me. I can't answer that call at the moment because I'm speaking to you guys. So yeah, I don't think that this is going to interfere with the transfer side of things at the moment. All right. So I've said for a while, someone pointed this out on the live stream last night that at the latter half of last season, I was saying something feels like something's going on in the background. Um, I don't know, but I don't think I said that, right? I don't think I said that. I'm sorry, I'm getting disturbed. I lose my trail of thought when someone's ringing me, right? Or messages start fucking popping up on my screen. What I'm trying to say is, I said for a while something feels off. That's what I said. Something feels off within the club, not in a negative way or anything, but some of the decisions and yeah, just felt weird. I don't mean the footballing decisions necessarily. I'm talking about the executive decisions and why we're not hearing this and why is he still here and why hasn't he gone? Things like that, And I said the night before this news came out on the live stream, I said, it wouldn't surprise me if there's something going on with this kind of stuff and FSG, what they're doing in terms of exiting. Yeah, but anyway, it's given us something to talk about, which I'm really glad about. So we'll keep an eye on it. Stay grounded, guys. Don't start believing all this shit online, and I'll keep you as updated as much as possible. All right. Okay, I'll leave it with you. Here comes the grift. If you enjoy this video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. There's a super thanks, which is a love heart if you want to support my channel. The channel membership is there as well. There's 3 links in the video description if you want to support me through different methods. And of course, one of those links is Revolut, which is my beer kitty for weekends. But I'm sure I'll be back with you at some point talking about this again today. All right, guys.